So we have seen the life cycle of an iOS application, and as well as we have seen the MVC architect of the iOS application. We have changed the background color. So we are now comfortable how the function flow from main to app delegate, and from app delegate class how it flows back goes to the view controller. Now we'll go one step ahead and we'll see how to display a text on this screen. So you know how to display text on the console using NSLog, right? Now we'll see how to display. So I copy the previous exam class code, previous exercise code into the new folder, and I say open. So obviously I have to display a text on the blackboard. So it's controller's view on which I have to display the text, not directly on the window. So we have to see the NVC pattern first before we start doing anything. Now to display the text on a screen, you need to create an UILabel object. UILabel is a view object. It will be depending upon some kind of data or model object, because view objects are always dependent object. So for giving the model value to the view, we need to create NSString object. So NSString object acts as a model to the UILabel view object. Now whenever we're going to learn something new component like UILabel or UIImage view, you have to follow these 4 steps. First, declare the label. So I say first label. Declare the load method. So I say load first label. So 2 steps done. Third step, copy the signature, paste it in your .m. So we say implemented the method, and the 5th step we say call this method. So I say load first label. Now like in other languages, you don't have to mention this dot the function name if the function is, if you're calling the same function of your class. But in Objective-C, the syntax is receiver and message. So you have to explicitly give the name self, or in other case this pointer, in Objective-C. So the 4 steps I will repeat again. Declare the component, declare the load method, implement the load method. When I say implement, I literally do not want you to implement the code. I just want open braces, close braces, and then 4th step you call the method. Okay, so I just write it down, these 4 steps. So I say 1, second step, declare the load method. Third step, implement the load method. And the 4th step, call the load method. Clear? Now let's start implementing this method. Now before we create a view object, we need to create the model object. So first I'll create model, because model is an independent component. So model comes first. So I say str equal to, say, so I'm displaying my name, or you can say hello world, whatever you want. Now when you declaring the UI component, we follow 4 golden steps. Now these steps are independent of any language. If you follow these 4 steps, you will be creating a robust code and it will be a maintainable code. So first step, declare the create and initialize the UI component when initializing When initialize the view frame, because frame is most important part in terms of view. If you don't initialize the frame or you don't declare the frame, where will be view displayed? So first step. Second step, set its model property. Now view are independent component, right? They are dependent component. The creation is very obvious that it will be representing some model. So set that property, the purpose property we say. Third step, set its secondary property, or I would say in simple words, look and feel properties. So if you want to make your text more attractive, you will be setting its font, style, font color, the font size and everything. So that comes aside. Fourth, attach it to the parent view. Unless it's not associated with the view hierarchy, how it will be visible? So we need to attach to the parent view. So we'll be following these all 4 steps in whichever view we create. Okay. So first time I'll say first label equal to say UILabel alloc init with frame, see direct make, I say 10 comma, say 60 comma, say 300 comma 40. I have did the first step. Second step, I'll say text. Now see, text is of type NSString. I have NSString, so I say str. Right now I'm skipping the third step and I'm saying self.view, where I want to add to the controller's view, not on the controller. Self out here is a controller, dot view on control. There's a function called, or a method called add sub view, and I say, so I'm followed the fourth step. The third step is an optional step. Now I run the program, and when I run it, I'll see Priyanka displayed on the screen. Now I wanted to make it more attractive. Now in iOS 6 the background color is transparent, but if you run the same code on iOS 6, you will find a white patch appearing as a background which covers the entire frame. Now we have to give support for iOS 6 at least. So I have to set the background color to be transparent so that no matter whether it's iOS 6 or iOS 7, it will be transparent. So now comes peripheral properties. So I say first label dot background color, UI color. I can set the yellow color, it will give me the same effect. But what if the label is coming on top of the image? You need a transparent color, right? So we're going to create a transparent color. There's a special function, or it's a special method declared in UI color which says clear color. I want to change the text color, so I say text color, UI color, blue color. I want to change the font, so I say UI font, so it's a UI font, bold system font of size say 20 pixel. I want to change its alignment, so I say text alignment. Now if you see text alignment, there's no asterisk. That means it's not an Objective-C object. So in that case, you do not use square bracket at right hand side. You just write NX text alignment and it will give you the alignment option. Clear? So these all steps comprises of your third step. So entire block what we have written right now is to make look and feel. So let's run it. Priyanka. So it's more attractive. Now we have heard about dynamic string. Now in order to implement dynamic string, we always use format specifiers. So Format specifiers are universal, %d for integer, %f for float, and so on. So we're going to display an integer value. So I say int value equal to 10. Okay. Now I want to integrate that as a part of the string. So I use NSString, say str1 equal to NSString. There is a method called string with format. I say hello %d value. So %d will be replaced by the value variable, and instead of str1 I'll say str1, or instead of str now I see hello 10. Now if suppose you want to concatenate this str with the str1, every language have its own concatenated string methods or string manipulation. Now here in Objective-C they have introduced one more format specifier called %@. It says Objective-C value. So you can pass Objective-C objects and you can see the output. So wow. So concatenating the strings, or they would say concatenating the NS strings in Objective-C is very simple. Use string with format, put as many %@ you want, and then supply those variables which hold those strings. So it's very simple, right? So creating a string is very simple, right? So you declare the model. So if you see model meets view in controller, so we are following the MVC at the basic level. So if you start following this pattern every time, your code start becoming more robust, more scalable. I hope everyone got how to create labels. So we're gonna close this exercise